As you know, F.W. Taylor was a strong supporter of using scientific method in management. So he developed some of the techniques of scientific management, which we are going to discuss now. And all these techniques are based on the various experiment which he conducted during his career. The first technique by the Taylor is functional foremanship. Under this technique, each worker is closely observed by eight supervisors, eight, you can say, superintendents, eight foremen, each of whom is an expert in the specific task. Basically, this technique is based on the concept of multiple accountability of workers. This technique, functional foremanship, is an extension of the principle of division of work and specialization to the shop floor. Shop floor means the place where workers are working, or that part of the factory where people are or the workers are working. In fact, he identified a list of qualities of a good foreman, or a supervisor must possess these qualities. So the first one is what? Intelligence. Intelligence is what? The ability to acquire and apply knowledge and skills. Then comes the education. And you know, the education is the process of receiving or giving systematic instruction, especially at a school or any academic institute or universities kind of thing. Then comes the tact. Tact means the skill and sensitivity in dealing with others or with difficult issues. Then comes the grit. Grit is what? It's a bravery, courage, or strength of character. Then judgment. Judgment is what? Who can decide that what is wrong, what is right, and it should be quick also. Then comes the spatial knowledge. Spatial knowledge means the superintendent should have that particular trade knowledge in which he is going to guide. Like the production of a bottle is taking place, so he should know how the procedure of the bottle production takes place. So he should know all about the all the small and the big procedure, process, methods, everything. That is called special knowledge. Then comes the manual dexterity. Dexterity is what? It's the ability to use the hands to perform a difficult action skillfully and quickly, so that it looks easy. Hmm. So this, you can take the example like a doctor, a surgeon is doing the surgery nicely. So he has dexterity if he's successful surgeon. And then he talked about these three things, very important, that he should be full with energy, he should be honest, and he must have a good health. But he was knowing this fact also, that not a single person would be having all these eight qualities in him. So he devised a technique, functional foremanship, where each worker will have to take orders from the specialist eight different foremen in the related process or function of production. So as you know, that factory system, in a factory system, the foreman represents the managerial figure, no, with whom the workers are in face to face contact on a daily basis. So he is the person who would be talking to the workers finally. As you have discussed in the first chapter, that foreman is the lowest ranking manager and the highest ranking worker. You remember the levels of management we discussed: top level, middle level, supervisory level. So I'm talking about that. And then the foreman, the supervisory level person, is the pivot around whom revolves the entire production planning, implementation, and controlling also. So all the major functions of management took place around that person. Pivot means the main person, the central point, the pin around which everything is moving around. So Taylor concentrated on improving the performance of his role in the factory setup. This prompted him to suggest functional forensic through 8 persons. And Taylor advocated separation of planning and execution function. He said that planning should be done by different people and the execution of that should be done by the different people. So this concept was extended to the lowest level of the shop floor and it was known as functional foremanship. Now let us understand how does or how it will work. In a factory setup, the factory manager should be subordinated by two people. One is the planning in charge, another is the production in charge. So these two people will help the factory manager. And now these production in charge and the planning in charge would be supported or subordinated or by these four people: instruction card clerk, route clerk, time and cost clerk, disciplinarian, speed boss, gang boss, repair boss, and inspector. This is repair boss, inspector. Now what they have to do? So the instruction card clerk work is what? Let us understand this now. The job of the instruction card clerk is that he is supposed to frame and issue orders and instruction to the workers regarding the method of doing a job. So he assigns actually the work to all the employees. Then comes the route clerk. Route clerk, as it is written here, he lays down the production route. Means he actually decides how work will progress regarding total production. So that production is on time. He is responsible for scheduling the various operations, activities to be undertaken for doing a particular job. Then comes the time and cost clerk. So he has to prepare time and cost sheet. What does it mean? He is concerned with making the time schedule for each job and also maintains the record of the cost involved in each operation. So he determines what will be the total cost and how much time each job will take. So all such type of things he need to maintain. Then comes the disciplinarian. He is responsible for maintaining proper discipline at the workplace, in the factory, and seeing that the rules and regulations are strictly followed from both the sides, from the managers as well as from the worker also. Then these are the four functions which planning in charge will take charge of this. Then comes the production in charge. So this there is a clear cut division between these two work. This is related to planning part and this is related to execution part or how the production will take place. Now in this, the first one is speed boss. He actually monitors the actual work to ensure that the work is moving as per the time schedule. So he has to see that the work is being completed accurately and timely also. Then comes the gang boss. The role of the gang boss is what? He is responsible for ensuring timely availability of necessary raw materials, tools, equipments, and all the necessary resources which workers would be requiring in production process. Then comes the repair boss. The role of the repair boss is that he has to undertake regular checking of machines, tools, equipments to see that they are in order, they are functioning properly, they are working properly, and if some repair is required, it is to be done properly and beforehand. Then comes the role of the inspector. Inspector has to do what? He is supposed to ensure that the actual work performance is in accordance with the planned performance. He also sees that whether the quality of the output is good or not. So he is basically to maintain the quality check. Now, these 8 people having the different 8 accountability, responsibility would be looking after the workers. So now the workers for these 8 different things will get the instructions, guiding guidelines from these different 8 people, these different 8 supervisors, foremen, or you can say their boss. Hmm? Now there may be a question in your mind that mm, this is this against the principle of unity of command, which Fayol had suggested? The answer is yes. Because in unity of command, we are saying that worker should receive order only from one boss. But here we are seeing that a worker is receiving the order from 8 different people. But Taylor also advocated or followed the principle of division of work by dividing the work of the factory manager in 2 parts. One is planning, another is production. So, in this way, he is obviously against one principle of the Fayol, that is unity of command, but he is very much in the favor of division of work by separating the planning and doing function. And each function is managed by a group of 4 people. So, the total 8 specialists guide and direct a worker. And there may be a question that why Taylor's is advocating this, that 8 people should guide one worker. The answer may be, the entire production, planning, implementation, and control depends on the competence of foremen. So, if the foremen are competent enough, the work would be done in a better way. So he should have all those qualities which we just discussed, intelligence, education, tact, breed, judgment, special knowledge, manual dexterity, energy, honesty, and good health. But as all these quality could not be found in one single person, or one person may not have all these qualities, so Taylor recognized the need for multiple foremen, and that's why he suggested this functional foremanship concept. And this is true that unity of command emphasis on a subordinate should receive order and be accountable to one and only one superior. But on the other hand, functional foremanship emphasizes on minimum 8 specialists to supervise and give orders to subordinate. So finally, we can say about this principle, functional foremanship is actually an extension of the principle of division of work, but it violates the principle of unity of command if you compare this with the principle of Fayol. But this is definitely is going to help the managers who in following the principle of development of each and every person to his or her greatest efficiency and prosperity. These techniques are actually to support the principles which he have given. So this principle will support this principle. This technique will support this principle. Now, if we have to understand the objective or the purpose or the advantage of this technique, we can say it will increase the efficiency of worker through better supervision. Second is it is to improve the quality of supervision of workers by employing specialist foremen, and it is useful for the production department, and there is a development of a specialization in the organization. As in this technique, Taylor suggested the division of factory in 2 departments, planning department and production department, as Taylor felt that workers must be free from the burden of planning and they must concentrate on work and production. So to develop a specialization in the productivity, he suggested under each department there must be some functional expert, and these experts are to supervise, guide, and instruct the workers.